In this video, I have brought you the solution of the most important questions from all the essays of grade 11 English. Hi, I'm Sanjeev and you all are welcome to my channel. Let's begin with sharing tradition. I have made a complete video on this. You can click the link above and check the video on my channel. Question number 1. What is the difference between oral tradition and literary tradition? In oral tradition, idea is passed down from generations orally, but in literary tradition, idea is passed down in written form. In oral tradition, mistakes can be corrected and modified, but it is not possible in the case of literary tradition. Question number 2. According to Lapena, what is the importance of the oral tradition? So this question is basically demanding the significance of oral tradition. So you need to supply that. And the answer is, according to Lapena, the oral tradition is important for the conservation of culture, tradition, and custom across generations and time. Because when culture, tradition passes from one generation to another, it can be preserved. If it does not pass, then obviously it gets lost. Number 3, who preserve and pass on the oral tradition? Both the elder people and the young people preserve and pass on the oral tradition in the sense that it is the elder people who transmit the knowledge and it is the young people who have to receive it. So as you can see the picture, both the old people, the elder people, and the young generation, because it is elder people who are offering and it is the young people who have to receive it from the old generation, then only old tradition can be preserved. After this very essay, time for us to see another essay. Okay. How to live before you die. Very popular speech of Steve Jobs. So let's see question number 1. What is the story about Steve Jobs' birth? Steve Jobs was born out of an unwed college girl who decided to put him for adoption by the college graduates. Initially, he was supposed to be adopted by a lawyer and his wife, but as they were expecting a baby girl, they rejected Jobs when he was born. So a new couple who were on the waiting list adopted him. So this is exactly the story. He was born out of the girl who was unmarried, therefore she did not want to take the responsibility of growing him. She decided to put him for adoption. Initially, a lawyer and his wife who were educated, they wanted to adopt Steve Jobs, but at the last moment, when he was born, since he was a boy and they were expecting a baby girl, they were not interested. Therefore, a new couple adopted Steve Jobs. What does he means Steve Jobs, mean when he says, you cannot connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backwards? So basically, in this question, you need to explain the line. You cannot connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backwards. Steve Jobs states that we cannot connect the dots looking forward, as connecting them is possible only by looking backwards. Here, dots refer to different events and circumstances, which may look insignificant and meaningless in the present, but one can see their meaning as one looks back at them from the future. So some events, some circumstances in the present may not look meaningful, but when we look at them from future, then one can see the meaning. It's like we connect the dots and suddenly out of the dots we see an image. Question number 3. What does the slogan, stay hungry, stay foolish mean to you? So this is how Steve Jobs ends his speech with the slogan, stay hungry, stay foolish. Does he mean something literal by stay hungry is like don't have food or don't get any knowledge, stay foolish. Okay, the answer is the slogan stay hungry, stay foolish means being ready and willing to try new things. One should be hungry for doing works and one should consider oneself foolish and ignorant. So there is always this space for learning. So be hungry for learning new things. Be hungry for doing things that you love and remain foolish. Remain foolish is like stay foolish. It's like don't consider yourself as someone who has knowledge. Consider yourself ignorant. Consider yourself as a guy or as a girl who does not have knowledge. Because when you pretend that you don't know anything, then there is always this space for learning. After that, we have essay What I Require from Life by J.V.S. Halden. How does the writer distinguish between a peaceful age and a heroic age? According to the writer, peaceful age refers to the time period before 1914, the beginning of the First World War, and the heroic age refers to the time period after the First World War. Peaceful age is characterized by peace without any violence, whereas heroic age is the age of violence, killing, and disorder. Peaceful age, you can see the word itself, peaceful age, something very peaceful, no more violence, no more killing. Here, heroic is nothing heroic. Here, heroic refers to a violent age because before First World War, 1914, according to the writer, there was complete peace in the world. So instead of living in that age, the writer is born in the very violent age and he's living in this very heroic age. Number two, according to the writer, what are the four general human needs? So that's very simple, short and simple answer. According to the writer, the four general human needs are work, freedom, health, and friendship. He says a work that pays you the decent ways, freedom, health means, general minor issues can be there, minor health issues like toothache, like headache can be there, but by health, he means the fitness to go to work. And friendship, yes, he wants to have the friendship with the people of the same status, neither with someone rich or nor with someone very poor. Number three, what is the difference between desire and demand according to the writer? According to the writer, demand is the wish for basic human needs, such as food, water, clothes, and shelter. But desire is the wish for general human needs, like work, freedom, health, and friendship. Demand is primary, whereas desire is optional, because when human beings are born, their demand is primary. At any cost, one needs to get food, water, shelter, and clothing. And when these demands are fulfilled, then thereafter one makes desire for work, freedom, health, and friendship. Therefore, desire is optional. Now, by Job Goodwin Parker essay, What is Poverty? What is poverty according to Parker? In fact, throughout the essay, he offers many definitions of poverty, and it is not possible to include all those definitions in this very short answer. So focus on key definitions by Parker in your short answer. Parker defines poverty in different ways throughout the essay. According to her, poverty is living in a smell that never leaves. She also defines poverty as dirt, tiredness, and asking for help, feeling helpless. For her, poverty is also looking in a black future of the children. She believes that her daughters, she will have a life like her, and her son, when they will grow up, they will be behind the bar for using the drugs. So that's how she has defined poverty, as looking in a black future of these children. Number two, how is poverty difficult for Parker's children? List some specific examples. So few examples from the text you need to include in your answer to suggest how her children are affected by poverty. Poverty is difficult for Parker's three children as they could not go to school and health clinics. They had a runny nose, moreover, they had no diaper to wear, and their faces were covered with flies and nuts. Question number 3, what do you think is the main idea of the essay from What is Poverty? One of the most important questions. Goodwin Parker in this realistic essay gives a real and graphic account of what being poor actually means on a daily basis. Parker's main purpose is to show how humiliating, shameful, and disgusting it is to be poor. And finally, we have this essay, Scientific Research is a Token of Humankind's Survival. Question number 1, what does a scientist get instead of big money? Obviously, you base your answer on the basis of the idea of the writer. So according to writer, what he has to say, let's see. A scientist does not earn money as much as businessmen, lawyers, and doctors. Instead of big money, the scientist gets more freedom, camaraderie, and independence in comparison to other professions. So you write 3 things: more freedom, more camaraderie. It's like mutual trust and friendship, camaraderie, and independence. 3 key words. Number 2, what was the problems that the nuclear powers had faced? The nuclear power, here nuclear powers refers to 3 countries, USSR, the then USSR, USA, and UK. The nuclear powers had agreed to ban the nuclear test, but the problem was, how would others know if one country violated the agreement and secretly made an underground nuclear explosion? So the problem was, how could other nuclear powers detect such violation? So it happened generally during the Second World War, when these 3 nuclear power countries agreed to come to a conclusion to ban the nuclear test. But the problem was, if any of the countries out of 3 violated it, secretly made the underground nuclear explosion, how could other 2 remaining countries know about it? Question number 3, in which area did Keilis Brook, the essayist, Keilis Brook's theoretical knowledge have a direct application? Keilis Brook was a seismologist. He had the nuclear power to distinguish between the natural tremors and the artificial tremors, thereby leading to an agreement to end nuclear test. In this way, his theoretical knowledge of seismic waves had a direct application in the area of the survival of the humankind. So as we had discussed initially, there was a dilemma, there was a problem. Okay, so if any country made the nuclear test underground, then how could other countries know about it? The answer was, when even the underground test was made, then there was explosion. But again, the question was, how could one differentiate between natural tremor and the artificial tremor? And here, the writer, who was a seismologist having the knowledge of seismology, he could tell which one was natural tremor and which one was artificial tremor. Therefore, all the countries finally agreed to ban the nuclear test, and thus humankind survived. In this way, the writer's theoretical knowledge of seismic waves had a direct application in the area of the survival of the humankind. This brings me to the end of this very video. If you enjoyed and understood this video, do let me know that things through the comment in the comment box. And yes, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.